right, welcome back, my friends. Welcome back. Kind of a repeat of last week to a certain extent. I mean, I think I might have quoted this last week. I can't remember, but there is the ancient Chinese curse, as they say, and it is, may you live in interesting times. And, that quote is often, I think, misunderstood, because I think a lot of people are like, oh, that sounds positive. That sounds rosy. Interesting. Hey, who doesn't like interesting? I want to live in interesting times. But I believe the genesis of that quote was, somebody was, middle of war or famine or who knows what it was, and said, may you live in interesting times. And that's why it's called the curse, and I'm not saying it's a curse. I mean, the markets aren't cursed, but we definitely live in unique times, my friend. We had an amazing 10-year plus bull market run, going back to 2009 is when we bottomed. So 10 years, 11 years. And and then we segue into going from all-time highs. I mean, it was, what's wild is, and this is one of those things that kind of drives me nuts about social media and and the media. We go from all-time highs, literally, like, I just used literally the worst word to ever use in 2020. So, but in this instance, it was literally all-time highs to these huge pullbacks. And it's only been a few weeks. I mean, a blip in mankind's history, and everyone's screaming, "World is ending!" We're buy the toilet paper, go to the bunker. And I think, in my opinion, and we'll see. We'll see. And I have a bunch of trends to talk about tonight, but I really feel like, honestly, it's just like, I think these are huge buying opportunities. And many of you, feel free to disagree with me. I have no issue with you disagreeing with me, arguing with me, but I talk about this a lot on these live streams. I'm in the middle of nowhere in Michigan, which socially isolated, so I feel good about the coronavirus. But everyone I know is busy. Business is booming. I have a friend. My friend owns a chain of grocery stores. Had his biggest day in 4 years on Friday. And you might say, well, that's all just panic. It's all panic buying. But the money's got to come from somewhere. You can't buy a semi-load of toilet paper if you're broke. But if you're flush in cash, because interest rates are low, and the stock market's been uptrending forever, so maybe you sell some stocks and you buy some toilet paper. I think it's a bad trade, but everyone's busy. Everything is rocking. I know so many building contractors that are backed up months, years. So the real world. So one of my biggest points I want to talk to you about tonight is the real world outside of, and I love this. Okay, I love chatting with all of you on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, wherever it is. I love it. But the real world is different than this, crazy, over-exaggerated everything world inside, your phone or your computer. So And I want to talk about some ideas tonight that are simple ideas. These are really simple ideas. But they're not mania ideas. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm not going to, the world is ending. Boo! I have some ideas and some trends tonight that I think you should really focus on for trades. And I'm not going to do any fear-mongering stuff. It's just recognizing the reality of things out there. So hit me with questions. I'll do Q&A here shortly. But I want to talk to you guys about some stuff. The trends I'm watching. Remote work. Okay? I think, and you can call me Pollyanna. You can call me rose-colored glasses. Call me whatever you want. But I'm always looking for a positive to any situation. Okay? If you don't know me, maybe this is your first Stocksy Trade YouTube Live. I went from a failing college student to starting a business with another failing college student. We literally, I know everyone talks about these stories. We actually slept on the floor. We actually only took $100 a week paychecks. Okay? We were building computers. This tells you how old I am. Most of you are like, building a computer? What are you talking about? I just order one from Apple. I order one from Dell. This is the early 90s. So we went from, I was delivering pizza. He was working at the cable company, okay, doing customer support. We dropped everything to build computers because we recognized a trend. And this dates me, I get it, but we were in the early 90s, mid 90s, we were delivering the first computer that many of these households ever had with a 33.6 modem. But we recognized opportunity, and we knew that the internet was growing. Everyone wanted a computer. Everyone wanted to be connected. And you know what? I delivered a lot of computers in my, I was 1987 Chevy Blazer at the time. It was kind of a good looking truck. It was like blue and gray, and then it had the tritone with blue and then the gray in the middle. But delivering these computers to 80-year-old ladies, 60-year-old men, but we recognized the trend. And I think we're there right now. Look to capitalize on this situation. Remote work. Come on. Do you think, really, after this happens, are they going to make you go back to the office again? Distance learning. Man, I think colleges are in huge trouble. Colleges have been hosing everybody, loading them up with debt, giving them worthless degrees. Now, look at Khan Academy. I know Khan Academy isn't a publicly traded company, but look at what Khan Academy does. You think that can't be replicated for high school, college, advanced degrees? Technology flattens everything. That's what's amazing about technology. It makes everything a level playing field. Think about Uber and Lyft, okay? Again, I know I keep telling these old man stories, but 10 years ago, you realize how annoying it was to get a cab? Sit there and try and, hail a cab, and then you get screwed on the fare, and the cab is disgusting, versus an Uber where you can pick your level of service. You know exactly when they're going to arrive, and it's a third as much as a cab. Technology, software eats everything. So other trends, home meal delivery, Blue Apron. Hey, you want to know something to look for tomorrow? Blue Apron, baby. Up 123% right now. Market's closed. Hell, if the market didn't close at 8 p.m., Blue Apron would probably be up 200%. That's one to watch. And listen, I did a blog post about Blue Apron. And, go back. Go to the Stocks and Trade blog. I did a blog post 6 months ago about this being the worst IPO ever. But guess what changed from last fall to right now? I mean, there's a lot of people that don't know how to cook or don't want to cook. I'm not going to pick on anybody. You just don't want to cook. Or pick out your recipes or go to the store. Guess what Blue Apron does? Right here, baby. Magic in your hand. You got a supercomputer in your hand right here. And I can order an entire meal with instructions delivered to my door, and I don't have to go out and get infected or just deal with the hassles. Peloton, another one. I got a blog post on the Stocks and Trade blog about this. I loved Peloton 6 months ago, and now doubly so. I mean, spin class is awesome. I have a Peloton. I love the thing. It's amazing. But are you going to go to spin class with 30 people coughing, sweat flying everywhere? Or are you going to jump on your Peloton in your house? And I know a lot of people are like, oh, social isolation is bad. But listen, people will go out again. But I'm not going to, if I when there's a worldwide pandemic and I can order meals and I can exercise and I can read, thanks to Amazon, and I can grow and evolve and get better without having to go out with a bunch of people coughing and spitting on me, that's a thumbs up. Why not? Why take the chance? Grocery stores, the food supply chain. One of the great things about America is we have the best food supply chain there is out there. I mean, you see all these panic pictures and videos of empty shelves. You see all these panic pictures and videos last week. Did you see any today? Did you see any empty shelves today? No, they're all restocked. That's the great thing. The supply chain in America is unprecedented. All this panic did was drive up the earnings for the grocery stores. Spartan, Kroger. Hey, check out Kroger. Warren Buffett bought in a month ago. He knew what's up. And now everyone buys out everything they have. They got to restock. That means it's going to drive earnings through the roof. And then other ones, stuff like Amazon, stuff like Disney, stuff like Netflix. That's the biggest thing I want you to take away from tonight. And I know we're supposed to go over the watch list, but the Dow was down 3,000 points. The watch list was not amazing, trust me. But instead of looking for reasons to panic or reasons to fearmonger or reasons to lock yourself in your mom's basement, learn to recognize opportunity. And I got 6 bullets in front of you. Remote work, distance learning, food delivery, home meal services, grocery stores, Amazon, online shopping, Peloton. There is so much opportunity out there that if you get short-sighted, you just, it's like looking at $100 laying on the street. You walk by, there's $100 there. You're like, hey, is this your $100? Is this your $100? Hey, did anybody drop this $100 bill? And everyone's like, no, not mine, man. Nope, not mine. And you're like, well, everyone said it's not their $100, but I'm afraid that maybe it's somebody's $100. I'm going to leave it on the street. And you can do that if you want. Help yourself. But why? You asked everybody that was around, and if you don't pick up that $100, somebody's going to. So that is what I see in all of these trends. The market's telling you, the volume is telling you, the story is telling you that there's unlimited opportunity out there. And you can choose to ignore it if you want, but I think you'll regret it. And when, Slack, Chegg, Blue Apron, Grubhub, Spartan, Kroger, Amazon, eBay, Peloton, when all these stocks in these sectors are at all-time highs, you'll be like, man, there was $100 laying there, and nobody. There was $100 laying there, and I chose not to pick it up. All right, my friends, let's do some Q&A. Whoops, I went the wrong place. All right, here we go. All right. Lyndon says, thank you for the book references last week regarding swing trading. I have 2 questions for you. What is the email where we can send you messages? I am tbowen@stockstotrade.com. And I will answer every email you send me. Lyndon's, when you're adding to a position under the PDT, it should not be so the only time, and Lyndon's, I always like to tell you, definitely ask your broker, but as far as I know, every broker, and this is the way the law, well, not the law, the regulation is phrased, you only get hit for a day trade when it's a round trip, okay? So you only get hit for a day trade when you have a buy and a sell. Or a sell, if you're shorting, if you have a sell and a buy. So the PDT, and again, please check with your broker to make sure they're going to enforce this way. But it's always, I've always understood it as it's only a round trip. So it's only a buy with a sell or a sell with a buy. Do you still need to sign up for newsletters to see pump and dumps? Master Plus, the traditional pump and dump doesn't exist. Master Plur, pump and dumps really just do not exist. They're really, you can sign up for all these newsletters. None of the stocks move. None of them go anywhere. David says, thank you for teaching. I've been trying to best nail pattern 1 from your free webinars, trying to save up for pro. Awesome. Hey, and everyone, man, this is my 4th, I say it every week, but this is my 4th webinar of the day. I got up at 4. I got up a little late today, as much as it pains me to admit. But the dog, my dog wakes me up at 4:30 or 4:45 because he wants to get fed. My dog practices intermittent fasting just like I do. Him and I, he only eats once a day. But anyway, he woke me up a little late. But this is my 4th webinar of the day. I've been here since 4:45. Love what I do. Check out Stocks to Trade Pro. What balance should a long bias trader have between the negative overall market and coronavirus sector hype? So what balance? Charlie, the thing is, there is amazing opportunity on the long side. Look at OPGN today. OPGN was incredible. So OPGN is a classic, what I call dip and rip, okay? It was a day one press release. They're in the hot sector. Crazy volume pre-market. And then it followed that pattern we talk about all the time. So it spiked big early, pulled back, and then at 10:30 a.m. broke out. I mean, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. If you've got a small account, OPGN spiked like $2 or $3 a share at 10:30 if you waited for the dip and rip. Delbert says, you see the bright side of Steven Johnson, don't you? LOL, I love that guy. Delbert, listen, you know, if you follow the Steady Trade podcast, which I hope you do, we're 3 years in on that podcast, man. You know, I know Steven and I give each other a hard time. Well, actually, I give Steven much more of a hard time than he gives me. But, man, I love that guy. And if you look at what Steven has accomplished over the last couple of years, you know, listen to the podcast. They're all on this channel now. And it's funny because, you know, I love that guy literally like a son, man, because, man, he's made mistakes, but nobody works harder than that guy. Nobody puts in the time harder than that guy. And, you know, you look at last month, don't quote me on this, but I think he turned like $700 into like $5,000. I mean, that is incredible. Now, I know the haters will be like, you know, I'm sure there's some haters on here right now, and they're going to be like, oh, wow, he made $4,300. What a loser. And I'm like, he started out with $700. You realize how difficult it is to quintuple $700. That might be one of the hardest things you'll ever. I mean, so if there's a hater on here, I'll challenge you. Go to a $700 account and turn it into $5,000 in a month. Good luck. Good luck, haters. So anyway, Delbert, I love that guy. I mean, just the most genuine, the most honest, and I don't know. I don't want to turn this into a bro fest, but Steve is a great guy, man. And nobody has worked harder than him, and I respect him for that. So yeah, I mean, Bazilla, I think food delivery could be a hot sector. So when people panic, that means there's tons of opportunity. I agree. So, all right, guys and gals. Thank you, everyone. I know I got a little ranty tonight, but there was a method to my madness, as they say. I just don't want all of you to miss out. You know, don't believe the hype. Don't fall for this world-ending crap. Hope springs eternal in the stock market. That's my favorite thing. There's always a new opportunity. There's always a new trade. And if you're, you know, I will close this webinar as I began. So you could go back to me at 22 years old in 1994, okay? 1996. 94, 90, somewhere in between 94 and 96 is when I started the business with my friend. I was 20, 21, somewhere in there. Dell was around. Gateway was around, Apple was around, but we knew there was an opportunity to build computers and home deliver them, just like home delivery on the food or Amazon delivered. We recognized that there was an opportunity, and we attacked it, and we capitalized on it. And that business, I sold it. I sold out to my partner in 2013, 7 years ago. That business still exists today, still rocking it, still has 20, 30 employees. That's 20 or 30 employees that fed their families, paid for their houses, provided because of the chance we took. Him and I sleeping on the floor, taking $100 paychecks. That's 30 families that are provided for, and have been for 30 years now. Okay. I'm not telling you to be an eternal optimist. I'm not telling you to be foolish. But don't overlook the opportunity in the market right now. We live in incredible times. We live in unique times, but we live in incredible times. So, have a great night, everyone. I do this twice a day, every day in Stocks to Trade Pro. Definitely go to stockstrade.com/pro. I'll be in chat 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. I'm live at 9 a.m. I'm live at 3:30 into the market close. I hope this was useful. Hope you spot the next hot trend. And I wish you all the best, my friends. I hope you stay healthy, wealthy, and wise. And I'll see you next time.